I'm on the host committee, and I want to thank the other members of the host committee, Becky Donatelli, who is right here, Brett O'Donnell, who is right back there, Lisa Miller, who I was just talking to.
Right here.
Who's right there. Thank you. Pat Mooney, who I was also just talking to, who's right back here. I'm sorry. Scott Faircloth. Okay, sorry, Scott. Arnold Felix, and Keith and Ken Nahigian, if I haven't said that already. Keith, of course, is our intrepid campaign manager. The host committee thanks you all for coming here tonight. I just want to let you know that as somebody who is working with the campaign, I am inspired on a daily basis by our candidate. America needs a new president. We all know that. That is self-evident. But we need a president who will fight for the values that we all share, all the people in this room, for traditional values, for strong national defense, for less government, and for more freedom. Not just a candidate who shares those values, but a candidate who will fight for those values every day that she's in the White House. So let me introduce to you the woman who will be the next President of the United States, Congresswoman Michele Bachmann.
Thank you to everyone who's here this afternoon. I appreciate it. We just flew in from beautiful Iowa, and we've been spending a very good amount of time there, and I want you to know the reception has been outstanding. As many of you know, I was the first woman to win the Iowa straw poll and the first candidate to win it in the shortest amount of time. And we worked like maniacs, you'd say, I think, all summer long to be able to meet as many people as possible. We have continued to be vigorous all across the country. We spent weeks in South Carolina putting very deep pilings down in South Carolina. We spent a significant amount of time in Florida and also up in New Hampshire. We'll be in New Hampshire again this weekend. But we're very excited, and you have to just enjoy all the coverage on this presidential race, because it is the biggest roller coaster I have ever seen in my life. One day somebody's up, the next day the person's down. Then someone's up, and then the person is down. And all this is saying is that the cement is very, very wet. It has hardly even had a chance to think about hardening. So we're very encouraged. We have probably, without a doubt, we have a more sophisticated operation and more identified supporters in Iowa than any other candidate. And with the changes that are just occurring in all of these elections for the caucus and the primaries, we think that that will redound to the benefit of our campaign, particularly in Iowa, where we've done so much work. We are energized. As I said, we spent the last 2 days in Iowa. We've just seen an increasing amount of support everywhere we go. The same thing in South Carolina. And so we are encouraged. And I think the more that we have debates, I think the better it is for this process. And we look forward to many more of them. And I think what I'd like to do, if I can, is open it up a little bit to your questions and say thank you for being a part of this effort today.
I have a question. I actually read Mitt Romney's plan, all of it. And I have to say there are some real weaknesses in that plan. Do you have or will you present something as equally detailed, but that will actually be the correct prescription?
Yes. And I've already been talking about a plan that has 9 different steps and processes in that, and I'll continue to do that. Really, the formula for success, in my opinion, is not that difficult to do. We all, I think, in this room could write that plan pretty easily. What we need more than anything, and I think what sets me apart in this race, is we need to have a candidate with a backbone and a political will to carry it out. For 5 years in Washington, D.C., I have lived and breathed and fought every battle that we need to take on in this upcoming race in 2012. That's really what sets me apart, the fact that I've been at the epicenter of every one of those Teutonic battles. And it really begins, I think, first and foremost with Obamacare. It must be repealed. And the only window of opportunity that we have is 2012. This is it. The good news is we've got the American people with us. We've got the business community with us. And UBS put a study out 2 weeks ago that said the #1 reason we're not seeing job creation is because of Obamacare. It's because Obamacare puts a cost of about $3,000 a head on every new employee that a business would take on. And so businesses are choosing to do anything but take on a new employee. And who this hurts more than anyone are unskilled workers. And so that's why you're not seeing us recover. I have the bill to repeal Obamacare. I have the bill to repeal Dodd-Frank. And Dodd-Frank does to the financial services industry what Obamacare does to healthcare. So there couldn't be two worse pieces of legislation that have gone through during the Obama administration. But these signature pieces of legislation, I have the political will to work with Congress to make sure that we repeal them. And that's really what we need. We need a candidate who's going to be strong and do what has to be done. And I've got that strength to do it.
All right.
What would you cut?
What would I cut?
Yes.
That's also an easy question. I think when you look at the federal government, it's so gargantuan, so out of control. Mitch Daniels had it right. He called it the red menace. And right now we are overspending by a factor of about 40%. And so every part of the budget needs to be looked at and attacked and pulled back. And I think the easiest place to start would be the Department of Energy and the loans that the President's putting out to all of his favorite friends and political donors. So I think we could start there to begin with. Yes?
How much did you report at the end of the quarter for donations?
That would be Keith's department.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So we were happy. We were on pace with where we wanted to be. We are very fortunate. We have a good group of small donors that we have, and they are very faithful and very good, and they've just been with us all the way, and we're extremely grateful for that foundation. Now what we're trying to do is continually expand our medium donors and our big donor community, and that's what we're working on across the country. But right now, the race is really about the individual primary states and the caucuses. That's where our finances are going. We changed off so that our focus isn't as much coming out of DC, it's in the various states. So we've been adding more personnel in the states and highly focusing and concentrating our message, whether it's Iowa, South Carolina, New Hampshire, Florida, but we're tailoring that message, and we're excited with the results we're seeing on the ground.
Questions?
Yes. Yeah. Running for president is a new experience for you and your family. How are they holding up? Because I know you have an extended family.
We do. It helps to have an extended family. What really helps is to have the last one go off to college. So at this point, my husband focuses on running our business. We have a company, and he is running our business, and all 5 kids are grown and gone. Our oldest is a physician, and our second one is in teaching and has finished his master's degree, or almost finished with his master's. And then we have 3 in college right now.
Wow.
So they are all fully engaged, and we are grateful. We have really good kids. Our foster children are all grown and gone and launched. We raised 23 foster children in our home. So I am the old woman in the shoe, and I've been able to organize and manage all those kids, and they're all doing really well. That is really our greatest legacy. And so now we're focusing on saving the country. So we've got the kids figured out now.